that's the problem with marriages now. I think the problem with marriages now is that people always know if there's a way out.
Okay, say if you're married to somebody and you are codependent on your spouse, you're dependent on that person. Why is that wrong?
There's an emotional, spiritual connection that's no longer there, that's no longer supported for your evolution in mind. It's time for me to love you enough to let you go and love me enough to let me go.
I have a problem with it.
Being naked, emotionally and otherwise. My name is Caryn Ward. I'm single for the first time, like since I guess a little over a decade. I'm more into kind of just figuring out what Caryn is versus so attached to another human being. I'm very sensual, meaning I enjoy the senses, the deliciousness of life, and I live that way, and I'm very passionate. And I think men are drawn to that.
When you don't learn how to be in a relationship at home, you got to figure it out on the street. And in my case, in the streets of the world. My name is Vikter Duplaix, music maker, vibe creator. I'm like a well-rounded lover. I get tired of competing up against a fantasy that I put in people's minds. The USA teaches all the girls that your guy should be perfect. He's going to be your knight in shining armor. It puts a lot of pressure on people to try to find this perfect person. I don't have the perfect person in my mind. So that's what's making life exciting to me, is to just keep experiencing it until something says, hey, stay here.
At my age, I don't need someone that's still trying to discover who they are, where they're going, and have 5 roommates, living in North Hollywood trying to be an actor. My name is Zsanae Davis, originally from Kansas City, Missouri. In order to find your mate, you have to date. And I know that I'm not gonna marry every person I'm with. So right now, I choose not to really take anything or anyone seriously, because that was one of the mistakes I made in my last relationship. I gave up so much. And then in the end, like, I'm left holding the bag. I don't want to be one of those women that, you know, 35, 45, and extremely successful, and they go home to an empty bed every night. That's not me.
Most of the women I deal with make themselves known to me. My name is Mario Singleton, representing Los Angeles, California. My passion is the entertainment industry. I get to meet a lot of women, which can be a gift and a curse, but I do enjoy the variety and to be able to kind of have the option to meet those different types of women based on what I do. I shape my women a lot in the vision of how my mother is. She raised the bar pretty high, to the point where the women that I see in my future have a lot to live up to.
I don't want someone who's just gonna talk to me all types of crazy and out the side of their neck, because then that's gonna make all the Brooklyn come up out. My name is Nia Hooper, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I'm a stylist. Every relationship requires a certain level of cultivation. To be understood is a luxury. The only constant in life is change. To even, as an individual, keep up with your own change and understand yourself amongst all those changes, to then be willing to understand another human being and all their changes is exceptional. You know, romance is, I guess, like the icing on the cake.
I'm an only child, grew up in a single-parent home. I got a phone call from my father last week and had no idea who I was talking to. Hi, my name is Collin Stanback. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I'm the music executive. Basically, right now, I'm at the point where I'm ready to settle down. I've done it all. What I look for in a woman is compatibility. Someone who's ready to build a life, you know what I mean? Have kids, buy a house, that sort of thing. Would definitely be open to is the possibility of it all. It took me a while to get to this point because, you know, you have to go through some changes yourself. You have to grow up.
He was supposed to be the star. I was supposed to be the stay-at-home mom. That's not what I moved to California for. My name is Robin Goings, and I'm from Toledo, Ohio. I'm a flight attendant and entrepreneur. I moved to LA to pursue an acting career. I have an older child. She's 17. And I have a younger child who's 6, so I almost have a built-in babysitter at home, which allows me to still go out. I do not do the internet dating thing. I believe in romance and partnership. To me, that is exactly what love represents. I really want to be in a relationship, but I keep meeting all the wrong men.
I'm a simple dude. I just fell for a pretty ass whore, you know what I mean? Like maybe she just wanted to get hers off with me, you know, have a good time and bounce. My name is Robbie Marquis Morgan. I'm the me you looking for in you, and you're the you I'm looking for in me. It's important to me to date somebody that I'm compatible with, where either it be a South African sister, you know, or it be a sister from Southeast DC. As long as we're compatible and we can see eye to eye on some things and just grow and develop as human beings together.
I feel like you shouldn't be broke if you have ambition. It shouldn't be a reason why you don't have anything going on. My name is Marlo Jaye. I'm a native here of Los Angeles, California. I'm an actress here, and I'm born and raised in Compton. I don't date guys that work at like regular places. It can't be anybody's dream to work at the post office or airport for the rest of your life. I have a problem with men from LA because I believe that they're whiny. I'm a girly girl and I want a manly man, and I find that men from either the East or the South are more manly and actually take control of a situation. They see something that needs to be done and they get it done, they do it. I'm not a small girl, so I need somebody to take control.
If you can't find nobody good, it's you. It ain't everybody else. You know how many people walk around outside right now? My name is Esau McCrary. I do comedy for a living. Different women have different things that make them sexy. I'm not prejudiced. Your hips, your chest, your neck, throat, ears, hair, eyes, nostrils. A woman's attitude alone can make her sexy, and that's what turned me on, because she could be beautiful, but if her attitude is ugly, then it's all foul. The women who say ain't no good men out there, I don't know, they gotta fix themselves. It's the thug that get the girlfriend, the head cheerleader, you know what I mean? The drug dealer that's out there serving up cocaine, destroying people's lives to get all the nice women, you know what I mean? The good guy that went to school, he don't get no girls. Yeah, I've been hurt before. I've been destroyed before. I've been crushed. Oh man, from the first girl I liked to the last one I was with. Yeah, it don't stop. It's part of life. That's what makes good relationships so good, because you've been through the gamut of it all. You've been crushed. That's when you meet somebody nice, that's what makes it so special.
I could really be somewhere else living a better life.
Oh, really? Little shit like that, huh?
And I'm like, all right. This is not the kind of reaction I was expecting.
She said, when I'm finished with you, you're gonna be a man.
He was like, yeah, I don't love you.
You don't say that to someone.
It's just always put Robin down to build himself up. And
She doesn't want me to call her to apologize because she feels like it's a trick.
Valentine's will never be the same.
When I was 14 and I was walking this girl home and she lived in the hood, and I used to have to walk through the hood for 2 miles to walk her home and then walk all the way back to my house, but then I went to my homeboy's house that lived maybe a couple blocks up the street from her, and then I went over there and hung out for about a half hour, but then I walked back past her house. She's in the front yard kissing another dude. After I walk her home every day for a month, she was seeing somebody else anyways. That was my first heartbreak. No, I didn't cry. I was 14. I was trying to be hard. I knew I wasn't supposed to cry.
I was dating an older woman, and the older woman had a man, and I was the embryo, as she used to call me, right? But the issue was, what she did say to me though, which I appreciate, is she said, when I'm finished with you, you're gonna be a man. Yeah, I was sitting in the corner rocking, I'm not gonna lie. You know, my heart was broken. What it taught me was always be respectful of someone else's feelings.
my ex-boyfriend at the time, we were having a Thanksgiving dinner at the house or what have you, and we had friends over, and somebody was asking about a shade of green, a particular shade of green, and he says, oh, ask Nia about that. She knows little shit like that. And I was like, oh, really? Little shit like that, huh? So colors, you know, for me, working in fashion, being a stylist, they matter. So Kelly green is very different from sage, it's very different from olive or military, whatever else. So that was hurtful to me because I felt that it was very insensitive to my craft and what I do.
The biggest red flag where I should have actually left, the day my father passed away, I went to his home for, you know, to be consoled, and he was pacing the floor back and forth like, what's wrong, what's wrong? He was like, yeah, I don't love you. I was like, really? You picked this moment, this time in my life to tell me that? He later told me that, oh, I don't know what I was going through, I do love you, blah, blah, blah. So it was a constant uncertainty of the state of our relationship. So that was, like I said, one of the biggest red flags where I should have left, but I stayed instead.
And I drive over there at 3 o'clock in the morning thinking how I'm gonna tell her, like, yeah, I'm gonna go knock on the door, and when she open it, I'm gonna say, look, baby, it's gonna be you and me. I'm ready for us to do this, right? Knock on the door, she answers the door. 3 o'clock in the morning, she's like, and I'm like, what's happening, baby? How you doing? You know, I just came to tell you, you know, we can make this a you and me thing. I'm ready to be in a relationship so we could explore this love thing. And she's just looking at me like this. And I'm like, all right, this is not the kind of reaction I was expecting. And then she went to turn her neck, turned to walk into the apartment, and I saw a hickey on her neck. Yeah. Petersburg just started spinning around my head like, oh, what the, oh my goodness, wow. Taken back, and she's like, well, nothing happened. I'm sitting there like, but you got a hickey on your neck. Like, damn, like, I just confessed all this love and stuff. I came over here. True, I was acting like an asshole for 3 months, like not jumping into what she wanted me to, you know, commit to, but when it came time for me to commit to it, I guess it was too late.
I can't do this. That's probably the most hurtful thing that a guy's ever said to me, because it makes me feel like regardless of what you do, regardless of how they feel for you, it still can't be done. It's nothing that you can do to make this work. The most hurtful thing I think that I've said to anyone is, I could really be somewhere else living a better life. That's horrible, but I think I said it to hurt him, you know, just to get a reaction out of him, to get some kind of emotion out of him, and it worked.
Recently, an ex-girlfriend told me that she doesn't want me to call her to apologize because she feels like it's a trick. She feels like that I'm basically trying to make amends and then slowly but surely ease my way back into her life. And I didn't think about it that way. I looked at it like, you know what? I feel like I messed up and I hurt you, and I wanna help you solve that pain. And she was like, no, don't do that. Just stay away from me.
We were driving down the street and I saw my ex drive by, and there was another woman in the car. And that was a bit difficult for me to see that. It kind of became a visual template of, wow, we're not together. So I had to pull over because I was a bit emotional and I didn't want to drive that way. It's really not about him, and that's really what I learned. I mean, obviously I miss him as a person, I miss him being in my life, but it's more of the conclusions that I was saying about myself as a result of the relationship not being there. And the fear. Will I be loved? Will someone love me? Will I find someone? And you know, he understood all my flaws and my faults. All bullshit. It's not real, but that's when you're in it, you know, your mind kind of creates this whole little story. So I got to bust through the story, and I'm grateful for that experience, but the truth of it is that I am a beautiful person.
I was in a relationship when I was 19 with a young lady, and We were both very young. She got pregnant and decided to have an abortion. And a lot of times I regret that. I didn't tell her to do it, or it wasn't like, oh, you gotta do this, but based on her own premonition, she decided to make that choice. And I oftentimes, wonder what if, or how my life would have been had that not turned out to be that way, so yeah.
He used to tell me things like, you'll never be anything until I make it, and I'm the star, and just play on my psyche, like, you'll never be anything. You'll make it once I get there and I bring you in, but other than that, you don't have a chance. You're a mother. You got so many strikes against you that you'll never be able to make it. And it was just always put Robin down to build himself up. And I wanted more for me and my children. I didn't want to just be a stay-at-home mom. I feel like I had so much more to offer, not only him, but the world. And he was not going for that. I know there is a God, and I know I'm gonna be okay. I'm good.
I do want to get married.
I envision myself being married.
Oh, of course. I believe in marriage 1,000%.
I do see that for myself.
Where they at? Where they at, son? No, stop.
I was emotionally ready for marriage when I was 19 when I got married the first time.
I do believe in having a soulmate. I think that that exists.
With an awesome husband and beautiful children and the picket fence and the dog and everything.
It's kind of sad in a way, though, you know what I mean? Because here we are, walking these parallel paths, but yet we can't cross.
What I'm ready for is life and how that shows up. So when he comes in, I'm not running from it, but I'm not running to it. And we'll just take it moment by moment and see how it unfolds. I'm not interested in projecting anything into the future or bringing stuff from the past. It's just what is now. Let me see what you got. I'll show you who I am. And if it works, let's do this dance. And if not, thank you.
I still think it's very possible. I think for me, it's a matter of who.
I would love to find my soulmate. I believe I may pass her every day on the street. I'm pretty sure we all got more than just one soulmate, to be honest, that satisfy different parts of our soul.
My parents have been married for 45 years. I know what family is. I know it takes a lot of work, but I want to be there. I don't like the dating thing. I don't like it.
I'm ready for a relationship, but I'm not ready for that big step because I don't know why. That sucks.
Now, I'm not looking, but I am open and available.
I'm not in that place, and I wouldn't want to drag anyone along some type of emotional roller coasters.
To find somebody that we can complement each other, and she could be my queen and I could be her king.
Timing obviously is everything.
I don't see marriage. I don't see 2.5 kids. I don't see that because I think that's almost like coveting a new house or a new car or those kind of things. It sets a goal on something that is more spiritual and less of a tangible reality.
But the majority of people who are in my generation come from a single parent household. You know what I mean? That woman might have seen 7, 8, 9, 10 guys come in and out of her mama's life in the course of her growing up. So she see breakups and, I don't need no man and that, the whole independent attitude. So she becomes independent, not even knowing that her body and soul and the makeup of a woman and the makeup of a man is dependent on the opposite sex.
In all honesty, I think one of my my fears or my reservations as it pertains to marriage is losing my sense of my independence. So me time is very important, and back to that acceptance, back to that understanding, I need someone who gets that, who is respectful of that. I hope he has his own independent thing going on too.
My idea of a healthy marriage is support, someone who's supportive.
Besides the obvious, handsome, tall, very pleasing to the eye.
The feeling that you can learn from them.
The interweaving of two people who have an agreement to evolve and to be more of their true self.
Being able to feel secure, knowing that your man has your back and he knowing that you have his. And
to love deeper, to communicate, intimacy, and to me, you see.
I mean, who wants to have bad sex? Particularly in your 30s, really.
A sense of admiration.
We all get old, fat, and ugly where don't nobody want you, but the person that's used to you, you become their habit.
Respect.
What I do want to have is a family similar to what I came from. And I know in order to have that, at some point in time, I have to create that.
It's just innate. Like, you don't even have to really talk about it. It's just, you get it without me telling you.
I'm looking for that Michelle Obama, baby. I'm ready to hold hands like Barack. You know what I mean?
So I got to get me a habit. I ain't gonna be by myself in some cold apartment. My kids is living their life and they don't want to come see their daddy.
Practically all my friends are married with children, you know, and I find myself these days feeling like I've missed out on, you know, that part of life because I've been chasing my dream.
You're making your life a lot harder being independent in your social life. You can be independent as a professional.
You know, and I think the biggest thing is the kids. The kids, when you see the kids growing up and you see the interaction with the parents, and it sort of reminds you of the Huxtables in a way, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, wow, that'd be nice to have one day, you know, but obviously it's got to be with the right woman and in the right scenario.
And up there by myself, no. I gotta get me somebody to make me their habit. You know what I mean? Because, you know, after your body start falling, don't nobody want to see that. You gotta get somebody who remember it when it was still young and strong and good. Just like when you fall in love, the person that you see, when that old couple that been together for 60 years, when he look at her, he see that woman who's 30 that he fell in love with still. I need that woman to see me 30 sexy. You know what I mean? Not 70, man breasts, you know what I mean? Back of my arms was hanging off where it used to be muscles at. I got the gobbler, the turkey gobbler. I don't know, you know what I mean? I need somebody to love me for 30 sexy and get to know me, because that's not, nobody gonna want me when I'm 70-something years old. And I'm still gonna be talking a gang of smack, which is gonna make it even worser, you know? And worser is a word. If you knew what I meant, then it's real. I gotta go. I'll be back by 4.
Yeah, please.
and champagne, dinner is all laid out. I wanted this night to be perfect for you. It's gotta be right for what I'm gonna do. So baby, sit down and open your heart to me. Ooh, whole world knows it's true. I'm so in love with you. Look at me, and in my eyes you'll see what everybody knows.
thank you for bringing us all here today. Let us share with each other this food. May it help to nourish our bodies. In your son's name, we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
I'll share.
So it is.
Green.
Yeah.
Where's the salad? The salad for it. The salad.
Your green.
Somebody sculptured?
So who's ever been in a relationship longer than 5 years? Put your hand in the air.
I have.
How do you know you were in love with him?
Because I love him the way that I love myself, and I know that I love me. So,
I like that.
That's yeah.
What does that mean, though?
Ambidextrous. Only way you can love somebody the way you love yourself.
meaning that I would honor him and nurture him, support him, encourage him, and believe in him the way that I do for myself. And so, to the degree that I do.
You sound like a virtuous
That
woman.
sounds like some poetry.
I'm just
some
saying.
poetry
You
now.
asked.
What's the process of honoring?
The process of honoring someone.
Yeah, what is that? What does that mean to you?
It means to hold them in the highest regard and to consider them and to make decisions that are going to be respectful and support and encourage them.
Did you ever get out the bed and get a hot towel and some red juice for your man?
Red juice?
What's a red juice?
Any kind of juice that's red is all red juice is delicious.
He doesn't drink red juice.
So long as you get some ice cold red juice and a hot towel, that's love.
So tell me this: after the 5 years, why did it end?
Just because something ends, like you know, Marc's saying, everything changes. Things are going to change forms, but it doesn't mean that the love has gone away.
So it's not over. That's what you're saying.
It's just a different
Right.
type of
I don't think she answered my question.
Yeah, because if the love is still there and y'all ain't together, that's called stalking. You ain't let go yet.
You think it got to the point where you're so comfortable, you felt like, you know, at times you might have felt like it wasn't right for you, but yet, you know, it was convenient, so there's no need to change it during that 5 years?
There's definitely elements of that, yeah. I mean, I would be dishonest if I didn't say that. I mean, there's a familiarity there. We know each other, we trust each other, so.
But there's a difference between loving someone and being in love with that person.
Big time.
I agree.
I've heard that.
If your attitude or your disposition and demeanor is unpleasant,
Right.
I don't have to like you at that moment. That doesn't mean that from a general, more macro level that I no longer love you anymore.
Right.
Like you just may be, you know, you might just be stank right now.
Or is it that we love people as long as they're fulfilling the role that we need them to fulfill, and then when they no longer do that, then we fall out of love with them?
It's based on tolerance, because there's some things that you would tolerate from some people either because they satisfy something in you that gives your life some type of value.
Right.
So you'll tolerate them stepping out a little more. You'll tolerate them talking back a little more.
Tolerate them stepping out.
Yeah.
Whatever the case, some people actually do tolerate it. Don't act like it don't happen.
Exactly.
Don't act like it don't happen. Don't act like it don't happen. Yeah. You stay in a relationship.
You know what?
Staying in a relationship, obviously you tolerate it.
Wait, for you to say you can't tolerate that, how many of you guys have been in a relationship where you know that where you feel like they're cheating,
You feel,
but
but you don't know.
but you don't have any evidence,
No concrete.
no concrete proof,
that
but you
means-
still
that means
stay.
you
No,
need
it's
to check
not
yourself.
because
You know,
because the
you
difference.
probably
The
don't
problem
wanna
is no, it's not true
It's
because
real.
the problem is
don't play
this.
mind games with
It doesn't
myself.
matter.
You ain't cheating until you caught
Until
cheating.
you caught.
No, because
Nah,
no,
real
it
talk.
doesn't matter. The problem is that the fact that you feel that way, the fact that you feel that way should be enough to either make you get up and go, or make you have a conversation or something, because you shouldn't feel that way. You know,
If you know your mate,
Right.
right, exactly. If you know your mate, I was in a relationship. I didn't have proof. I never saw her doing it, but I knew just because of the changes that were happening within how we were dealing with each other, that something was wrong, and that my instinct was telling me she was cheating to the point where I addressed it.
Was she cheating?
Yes, I have been cheated on. The first instance, I actually witnessed it. So. Go figure. It was a Valentine's Day at that.
I don't remember not being in a relationship that I didn't cheat on. About 5 years ago is when I decided, okay, you know what, cheating takes too much work.
I've had situations where I was in a relationship and I've cheated, and if any man sit here and tell you that he ain't cheating, he cheating in the interview.
The nature of my cheating has been, no, you're right, I've cheated, yes. My name is Caryn, I'm a cheater. it's the overlap thing. Like one relationship is ending and a new one has begun, but the old one hasn't quite totally finished out. So in that context, yes, I have been a cheater.
I would say that the reason that I cheated before is just because I had no attachments, and it was like, who cares? Why not? You know, hey, he's cute too. Let's talk to him.
Just greedy. Just want more in life that I was entitled to at that point. That's pretty much the honest answer. You know what I mean? You just want more than what you really supposed to be getting, and you not really valuing your situation. You know, you taking your situation for granted. You know what I mean? And trying to be sly and try to get extra.
See, what I used to do, which is why I've made the choice not to be in a relationship right now, I used to get over dude A with dude B. It's not a healthy way of being, and so I have a different choice now, and that's to kind of end it, let it be what it is, and then move fresh with someone else. So
yeah, if I knew I was being cheated on, it would hurt me, because that's the double standard that all people have. You want to do it, you want to dish it out, but you can't take it. You know what I mean? I'm one of them people too. I ain't gonna say I'm not. You know, I dish it out, but I'm not saying I can take it.
I think as I became an adult, and my reasons for cheating was filling the void that the relationship that I was in made. You know, whether it was, you know, he was never home, or whether it was, you know, he didn't make enough money, or whether it was he didn't show me enough attention, or whether it was something very shallow, like, you know, he didn't satisfy me sexually.
Is that the worst thing that can happen to a relationship? Cheating? Is that it? Is that
No.
what ruins it?
No.
At the end of the day?
For some people.
Bottom line?
That's a big one. For some people, it's a deal breaker. It just depends. It's an individual preference.
To me, it's a symptom. That means that there's something else going on, or something else that's wrong.
Missing, yeah.
There's a void somewhere that this is taking place. If you're saying that you love this person, that you're in love with this person.
No, but there are people who get married who definitely aren't compatible in many ways, and the relationship is lacking. Right, but what I'm saying, but regardless, they're already married, the relationship is lacking, so therefore somebody always tries to fulfill their needs in another way without ending the union. Right. We've all seen it happen.
Right. If we have a discussion at the end of the day, and it comes out that sexually we have issues,
okay.
All right? I'm not happy. We go through therapy, we do all these different things, and it still doesn't really work out. Do we then end the relationship, or do I continue?
Probably, because sex is important.
So wait, so the love of my life, I just dispose of this relationship because of the booty?
Not the love of your life.
For you should try to please.
Because the booty's off.
You made it important.
But
She didn't.
here's the thing.
Don't look at me. I'm saying this.
Friends with her.
She's the love of your life.
So what are you arguing for? You're saying it's not disrespectful then to cheat on her because you love her and you guys tried and it didn't work out sexually?
No,
I'm
just saying like
No, wait, did you hear what he just said?
What's that?
If she's the love of your life, no matter how bad the sex is, no matter the problems in your relationship, you will stay with her because, number one, she's the love of your life, and that trumps everything.
Right.
It does.
Right, okay.
If
this isn't about me in particular. I'm just saying.
I'm going to say, because you're right.
This question, okay? Because, like we said, the roles have changed and the dynamic is different, right? Let's say, ladies, you are the breadwinner of the house, okay? And you're pregnant. And it's a situation where it's going to prevent you from being able to work if you want to stay home with the child after you have birth. Would you let your husband stay home and not work, and you continue to work, and he play that role?
No, my husband needs to know his role and work. Sorry.
Oh. But why is it okay? I mean, because the dynamic is different. You got a job, I got a job.
No, I know my place. I'm okay with the roles. I'm okay with my man being in charge because I like being a woman. I love being a woman. I love being. I don't need to do all the stuff that he can do just so I feel confident about myself. I'm secure with myself. No matter, just like Michelle, she knows what she's capable of. She can do all this. However, she knows her role, and I'm gonna step back and let my man lead. Because if she wouldn't have done that, he probably wouldn't even run for president.
I think the dynamic today is so different. It's not like it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago for that matter, where the woman was a little bit more dependent on the man to be the provider, whereas now Sometimes the woman is, you know, the breadwinner. If there was a situation where I was with the woman and she was more successful than me and, you know, my life had to change to support what she was doing, I'd do it. But a lot of times it's hard because you got to let a man be a man. And when you have that imbalance in the relationship, you're almost set for failure.
I believe there's somebody for everybody. I believe that, and I think that feeds into the whole thing of, you know, women say that there's not enough good men or whatever. Maybe you haven't met the right one for you. But there's plenty out there. I come across beautiful men, amazing men, but I'm clear that they're not for me. That doesn't make them not a good man. And I know what I need, and I know what compliments me, and I know what I can compliment. So it's not something so small as to say, oh yeah, he makes a good living, and he's attractive, and he pays attention to me. Whatever. It's much more than that. I know that, like Zsanae said, I said, I'm okay with playing my role. You know, I'm okay with being a woman because I expect you to be a man, and I expect you to see something that needs to be done, and you make it happen. You take control and you make it happen. Right. Now, I'm going to back you up because I got your back and I'm going to support you. But I expect you to take control and lead. And if something happens in this household that needs to be done, then I expect you to take control and make sure it's happening.
There is a generalization of young black girls in particular who want to have the bad boy no matter what, right? And they will sacrifice their self-esteem to have kids with this guy. They hold on for him. They wait for him to do all kinds of things and say, I don't know why the world is dealing me such a bad hand right now. You know what I mean?
I'd rather be a cool nerd getting a job than some bad boy locked up around a lot of brothers.
But I think that's just the phase that a lot of women go through. A lot of times what happens is the mistakes that you've made with that bad boy then catch up to you once you are the grown woman who's figured out, well, this ain't for me, and now you want to get on the good foot.
The fundamental thing is that people are animals, I mean, mammals, just like lions and tigers and the biggest, baddest, strongest tiger that dominate all the male tigers get to mate with all the female tigers. And so women that see that dominating male on the block that all the other guys respect or they're afraid of, or he's doing his thing, there's something attractive about that.
It's more of a learned behavior, like my man over here was saying, and oftentimes with young girls, they have an opportunity to duplicate and replicate what the father's situation was. An absentee father, a father that's neglectful or abandons them, is a ripe condition to find the bad boy that you're constantly trying to get, constantly trying to go after, and you can't get. And all that is just a mirror of the relationship that they had or lack thereof with their father.
There's a lot of daughters that come from great households
that chase the bad boy.
Yes, no, but let me stop. Hold on, because there's different levels. There's different levels of dysfunctional fatherhood. Your father can be present physically and emotionally absent. He can provide for you materially, but be spiritually bankrupt. Like, there's all type of levels by which a woman has that father hunger, that wound that's in the shape of a man, and that first man is her father. In which case you
put enough levels up there, you're gonna find a reason.
Exactly, but this is a multi-level. This is a multi-level situation, though. It's a complex. I mean, there's a myriad of reasons of why people.
No-win situation.
It's not there's no win, but there's a level of. I mean, there's not just one answer for this. I mean, there's so many variables that go into how we relate and attract people. So you can't just say, oh, animal, or this or that. And the difference between us and animals is that we have the process of higher reasoning. We can think independent of circumstances. When an animal has to shit, they go shit. As a human, you have a choice.
We really don't know that because none of us speak animal.
No, you just said we're animal.
The point is this, right? Now, the whole bad boy issue doesn't necessarily mean that, you are a hoodlum. You know what I mean? I think what a lot of women look for is a man with a strong character. Somebody with a, so-called, what's the term now? Swagger. You know what I mean? Like, that's really important to a lot of people because, it's attractive to women.
Yeah, that doesn't necessarily make you a good person.
Unfortunately,
in
our community, unfortunately, the bad boys you are describing, it's a learned behavior. Yeah. That's all it is, because what they do is they teach our kids to be the brutes of society. And that's a lot of...
In defense of, what you said, women, yes. There aren't as many good brothers with the sense of, a lot of our brothers are in jail, are tied up in the system, or are doing things that you can't bring him home to mama, even if he is a good guy deep down. So that does make it a problem. I mean, he means well, even though he might not be living right. But I think too many of our sisters don't want to really work with these brothers to get them right. I mean, granted, we got better examples now.
Why should we?
I mean, because that's
I'm saying, why is that our responsibility?
If you don't, who else will? I didn't say train you and change you.
Okay, you said work with them.
If he needs help to become a better man.
Then work on yourself and make yourself better so that you can be a better person.
And then come into my life.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, we really got a lot to work on as a people with regard to our culture. We need to be more in love with each other. Not even so much as husband and wife, but just as friends and people that you work with. Like, it's necessary at this point. I hope people can learn to communicate like we talking today and actually listen to what one another is saying. If you have needs that aren't being met, let's talk about it. If you like something I'm doing, let's talk about it. You tell me any other time.
The ills of our community and of our relationships will be healed and transformed once we essentially change our relationship to ourselves. As we were talking about, I think it's all about self-responsibility and self-accountability, and not looking outside of ourselves for the answers, but really like taking a moment to pause, you know, like turn off the cell phone, stop the texting, stop the movement, and just to be still and connect to something bigger than our little lives, because it's from that place that we can authentically relate to and love other people, because we're essentially loving ourselves.
I want to see people enjoy each other more. I mean, even in this discussion, we talk about love, and it seems like it's this hard thing, this burden of being involved with each other. We have all these problems. You do this, I should do that, and it doesn't really feel like we look forward to being in these relationships. Like, it's something special about it. It should be the pivotal thing in our lives that sets us on the path of getting to another level of spiritual existence, hopefully. So, you know, in that space of, can we find the perfect love? Can we find happiness? Can we be happy with each other? Can we have fun, you know? Can we smile? Can I wake up in the morning and say, I want to see my baby, you know? Every day, can we do that? I like to see more people taking the time to figure out how to get to that point. Then I think the other stuff will work itself out. The lifetime partners and the beautiful kids and the stronger communities. You know, if we can enjoy being around each other more, then I think we'll enjoy living.
I think in terms of our families and our cultures, we know what strong Black families looked like at one point, even if we necessarily haven't experienced them within our own family structures. We have witnessed them somewhere, I would hope. So I would like to see us as a people return to that place, because no matter who you are, man, woman, child, we all want love, and it's crucial to our existence. It's crucial to our progress and our success. So here's to finding it, here's to having it, and here's to keeping it.
To me, a good relationship is based off giving and not taking. You know what I mean? And when you trust somebody and you really love that person and you know that person has your back, you know, you don't have to worry about receiving. All you have to worry about is giving. And you give and you will receive. So when you have your family based on that, you give to your children and you give to your wife and you give to your husband. It's a round robin of giving. You know what I mean? And it is, you know, a lot of times things break down because of selfishness, you know, and then that starts a whole lot of other things when you start taking people for granted, when you start cheating, when you start, you know, doing all those things that break relationships up. And so if you have a foundation of giving and an understanding of giving that's communicated in your family, I think the love will go a lot farther and it'll be a lot stronger. So a lot of people got to realize that giving and not receiving, and how good it feels to give love to somebody is what I think will make us all happy in the long run.
Bottom line, I think it's all about knowing who you are and knowing what you want, and knowing what is required of you to get what you want. You can't want this loving and powerful and awesome relationship without doing what's required of you. You always want, people want to, everything to be catered to them, it's coming my way, and what's in it for me, but not willing to give what's required of them. And that comes with a level of maturity. And when you're mature, you know when things aren't working, you know when to walk away. So it's basically just reflecting and looking at ourselves and saying we're accountable for our past relationships and why they went bad and why they went well. and learning from that and using that information and moving forward. And I feel if we're all accountable for what we brought to it, then we'll be better off in the long run.
I think we should throw out, all of our preconceived notions of what relationships should be or how we should approach relationships. And I think we have to be open to the possibility with an open heart and with an open mind.
We need to learn how to love each other more, communicate, and just enjoy the moment and the time. We need to go into it with an open heart and just give another person your all.
And we all need to use the word love more than we use the word hate, just in our everyday conversations. The people we hang around, a lot of times you'll notice they say hate a lot more than they say love. And the words we use in our everyday language is the energies we attract into our lives. Then also, we need to put our egos about ourselves to the side when it comes to dealing with somebody else, because it's bigger than just you. It's actually a universal, beautiful, let's say, reward to find somebody that you can connect with and actually be vulnerable to and enjoy it and not feel like you're losing a part of yourself because you are vulnerable and willing to accept yourself as being vulnerable to this person because you trust them enough that they would take that kind of tender care with you that is necessary.
I guess all I have to say is, women, we need to be more supportive and learn how to play our role in a relationship.
Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. Everyone must change. Nothing stays the same. The young become the old. Mysteries do unfold, 'cause that's the way of time. Everything must change. Winter turns to spring. A wounded heart will heal, but never much too soon. Everything and everyone must change. Everything must change. A wounded heart will heal, but never much too soon, 'cause that's the way of time. 'Cause there are not many things in life you can be sure of. Rain comes from the clouds and sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds